Are you sure all the documents are gone? I refuse to believe you. Go and check again. What?
Listen to me.
Just hurry up and go, and make sure you don't run off. I'm gonna wait right here. Oh, I get it. She's acting. She was so forceful. I thought I'd made her mad again somehow.
Just a second.
Why are you just standing there? Hurry up and go. Okay, I'm going.
So then.
And be thorough. I'm counting on you. Okay, first we have to find a network cable. According to Kyoko, there should be a bunch of cables in this jar. Found it. This is the network cable, right? Now we just have to connect Alter Ego. I immediately got to work. I pulled out the laptop and connected it to the Ethernet port with the cable. And that should do it.
That's right.
Yeah, I think it worked.
Leave it to me.
Just leave the rest to me. I swear I'll find something. I might even be able to connect to the outside world. If I can, I'll see if I can call for help. So please just wait a little longer. Just hold on. Just hold tight and put your faith in me. As I was about to leave, I decided to leave him with one last thing. No matter what, we're gonna get out of here. You and all the rest of us as friends. Friends? Even me? Thank you. Thank you, Makoto.
Makoto.
How'd it go? Well, it went okay, but all the documents were gone, just like I told you. My reply was an unintentional mix of acting and real feelings.
Correct.
I see. Then there's nothing left for us here.
Goodbye.
Before I knew it, Kyoko was walking away. She wasn't acting anymore, that much was for sure. Kyoko!
What?
Yes? So we're just gonna split up?
Why is that?
Of course. I have no reason to stay with you at this point. Well, maybe, but isn't that a little too direct? Should I hesitate and fumble for something to say? You're so high maintenance. That's not what I meant. I just had more I wanted to talk to you about. Like, what are you gonna do about Sakura?
It's true.
Well, something has to be done, it's true.
However,
But the way things are right now, there's no way to persuade anyone. They don't have the mind to listen. Then what should we...
So...
If we can find some new clue, that would likely change the situation. That's all we can hope for right now. Which is why alter ego...
Correct.
All we can do is wait and believe in our friends. You're right. That's our only option. We parted ways, and I headed back to my room. I'm kinda tired, so I laid down in bed. Maybe it was because of the stress of moving alter ego, but I was way more tired than I realized. So before long at all, huh? The sharp sound of the doorbell pierced my sleepy haze and pulled me back to the real world.
Makoto.
Get out here. Kyoko, what's going on?
Indeed.
Hina just came to see me, and she was white as a ghost. It sounds like something's happened. What? As soon as I heard those words, my heart started to beat a little faster. Suddenly, I found myself wide awake. She said for us to come to the rec room. The rec room? Okay, let's hurry. Makoto, Kyoko, Hina, what's wrong? Something's not right. In the rec room. What's inside? There was a window on the rec room door, and I hurried to look inside. And when I did... Sakura? Is she unconscious? She's sitting up in the chair, like she's bowing her head.
Hey.
What's going on? Did something happen to her? I was just walking past, and I happened to notice her through the window, but I couldn't get the door open. I tried knocking, I tried calling her name, but she wouldn't respond. So what should we do? What are we going to do?
Anyway.
First of all, we need to get into that room. But the door's locked, right? If we break in, we'll be violating school regulations. We're going to force our way in. I just said the door isn't locked. It's not locked because the rec room door doesn't have a lock. Huh? Then why? It feels like the door is pressing up against something inside the room. Is it the chair? Chair?
In other words.
Either way, this door isn't locked, which means, as far as I can tell, the rule doesn't apply. Then there's no problem if we break in?
Indeed.
Let's smash the window. That should be the fastest way. Okay, I'll go get something to break it with. Wait right here. Inside the rec room, Sakura still hadn't moved an inch. She's just unconscious, right? Is she okay? I mean, it's Sakura, so I'm sure. Kyoko didn't reply. There was only silence, but that silence didn't last long. I found a broom in the classroom. Use it.
Makoto.
You can handle this, right, Makoto? Come on, please hurry. Okay, you two, stand back. I took hold of the broom and swung as hard as I could. Facts, Omari, those are major facts. Aiming directly at the window, all it took was one solid hit. The window shattered into 100 pieces, scattering across the rec room floor. I stuck my hand through the now open window and started jostling the chair leaning against the door. The chair is pretty heavy, but if I can just... I pushed on it with all my strength, and finally the knob turned. Sakura! I ran up to her as fast as I could, but the moment I laid my hand on her, all I felt was cold death. I could feel only the last lingering warmth of a living body. Life had abandoned Sakura's body. And then...
a body had been discovered! After a certain amount of time, which you may use however you like, the class trial will begin!
Huh? Sakura's...
Sakura's
dead? She's really dead?
I heard Hina talking. Stared steadily forward. I could only look on at Sakura's dead body. We didn't make it in time. It happened again, muttering to herself. Kyoko began to gently inspect Sakura's body. I wondered, was she confirming that Sakura really was dead? Checking for a pulse or a reaction? I have to go get them. I have to go get the others. On shaky legs, Hina left the rec room. And why? Why did this have to happen? That's all I could say. I repeated it over and over again. I need to examine Sakura's body. I just stood there, motionless behind her, while she checked Sakura's corpse. Time passed. While I stood there, unable to do a thing, time just passed. And after I don't know how long, I got everyone.
What?
Ogre?
Yes.
So she's dead, huh?
I see.
Sakura's been killed? I see. As soon as they arrived, Kyoko began.
Just a second.
You heard the announcement just now, right? So you know what this means. Sakura was murdered, and by someone in this very room. Is that what you're going to say? No. Whoever killed her, it's not just someone in this room.
It's your fault.
It's one of you, Hiro Byakuya Toko. One of you killed Sakura.
What?
You're accusing us before we've even begun the investigation? I don't need to investigate anything, because you hated her. You hated the sight of her. One of you did it. I know it. You know it? Jeez, I didn't know your power level would increase by that much just by getting mad.
What the heck?
What are you doing here?
Come on!
Isn't it obvious? I'm here to hand out my little murder flyer. That's right. And don't get so mad, Miss Asahina, or you're gonna ruin that lewd little face of yours. Now then, with that, Hold on. There's something I want to ask you. It was you, wasn't it? You killed Sakura? Sakura wanted to challenge the mastermind to a duel. Maybe you and her fought again, and then I killed her. Sorry, not quite. Actually, not even close. That whole thing is totally irrelevant now. Sakura came to a most regrettable end without even getting the chance to finish things with me. Which, thank God for that. It saved me the trouble of having to go through with our little fight. Because even for someone like me, it would have been no mean feat to take down a behemoth like that. I gotta tell ya, I was actually pretty worried. I mean, she violated a rule by attacking me in the first place, but I wasn't able to punish her. So I don't know who it was, but whoever the blackened is this time, I owe you one.
What is this?
You owe them one? Oh, oopsie, before you get all pissy-potty at me, you better figure out who did it first. Cause, I mean, your lives are all on the line, right?
What is this?
What the hell? He owes them one? I hate him. I hate this whole thing. Well, I, for one, am glad it was Sakura. She was working for the mastermind after all. How can you say that now? Sorry, I don't have time for your squabbling. The next game has already begun. If you want to be angry at someone, be angry at whoever killed Sakura.
Anyway.
Right now, our top priority needs to be uncovering Sakura's killer. If we can't do that, we're all dead. Then let's decide who will stand guard this time. I'll do it. Hina? I'm okay. Just let me handle it. Besides, I want to be here with Sakura.
That's fine.
Okay then, Hina is guard number 1, but we need one more. Kyoko, that's you.
What?
Me? You're always a thorn in my side. This time, just stand by and watch quietly. Consider that an order. An order?
That's fine.
Fine, I'll stay behind. Then it's settled. Let's begin, shall we? Hold on. Before that, there's something I want to say.
What?
Which is Hiro, Byakuya, Toko. None of you are allowed to step foot in the crime scene. What?
It's your fault!
One of you killed Sakura. I won't let someone like that come anywhere near her.
Stop.
Don't be stupid. Our lives are in just as much danger as yours. We have every right to investigate. I don't care what you say. I'm not letting the one who killed Sakura anywhere near her. Even if it meant I have to use force, you're not getting in here. Well, it appears further discussion would be a waste of time. How about compromise?
It's all clear there.
I won't actually let all of us in. Just let me. You don't really care, do you? You're both useless anyway. No, don't really care. I'd rather spend all my time coming up with another splendid fantasy involving Master anyway. And you, Hiro? Do you really object? If you're gonna go that far, what can I do? I mean, I don't have anything to hide, so why should I care?
It's all clear.
Then it's decided. Nothing's decided.
Calm down.
I know how you feel, Hina, but you shouldn't agree to his request. But
Hey,
we have to find out who killed Sakura. For those of us still alive, and to honor Sakura's memory. Fine, I guess that's okay. But no matter what, Byakuya, you absolutely aren't allowed to touch her. Naturally, who would want to touch his filthy dead body?
listen.
That's enough fighting. We need to focus on the investigation from here on out. Everyone, keep this in mind. If we can't uncover Sakura's killer,
Listen to me.
all of us face execution. Finding out who killed Sakura is not a matter of hoping we can do it. If we want to survive, we have to do it. It's a kind of hopeless hope. We have no choice but to just do it. I'd better check the Monokuma file before anything else. The victim was Sakura Ogami. The time of death was estimated to be around 12 noon. The body was discovered in the rec room, on the 3rd floor of the school. There is evidence of a strong blow to the victim's head. No other injuries were noted. However, it seems that at some point the victim suffered from violent vomiting of blood.
Hey,
I think the case this time might be a challenge. Why is that?
so...
The only way into the rec room is the door we just came through. And that door had been jammed shut with the chair from inside the rec room. Which means the killer would have had to escape somehow after barring the door. So if the door was blocked from the inside and there was no way in or out till we broke the window, there's like zero escape, right? In other words, this is a classic locked room murder. But locked room murder? I guess you might see this kind of thing a lot in mystery movies or books or whatever. But could it really happen in real life? And right before our very eyes like this?
Hey,
Are you curious to hear more about what a locked room murder entails? Sure, if you don't mind.
that's fine.
When you break down this kind of murder mystery, there are 4 basic types. The first type is when the locked room is created after the actual crime is committed. This simply means that the killer commits his crime, then through some special method seals the room. This mainly involves some sort of trick involving locking the room. Basic approaches includes using a string or a simple mechanism. There are a number of variations. So for that, all we'd have to do is check the door, see if that's what it was, right?
Correct.
The second type is when the locked room already exists before the crime is committed.
In other words,
Basically, the killer uses a special contraption or tool from outside to target the victim inside. You push a switch and it fires a handgun. You shoot an arrow through a gap in the door, something like that.
however,
But in this case, that doesn't seem to fit. There are no guns or arrows in this school, and the door doesn't have any gap that would allow it. Yeah, I think we can probably cross that one off the list.
it's true.
The third type is when the killer stays in the room. What do you mean by that?
In other words,
They stay hidden, and when the door is open, they use the confusion to blend in with the group. They pretend they showed up along with everyone else, and that's that. That sounds like it could have been possible. Maybe.
it's true.
And the fourth and final type is when it wasn't actually a locked room at all. Not a locked
In
room?
other words,
By that I mean there actually is an alternate escape route somewhere within the school. You see this a lot in novels and things, but in reality it's generally not possible. Then you think we can cross that one off too?
indeed.
I believe so, yes. So when it comes to locked room mysteries, those are the basics. So there are 4 possibilities. Then Kyoko, which of those 4 choices seem the most likely in this case?
It's true.
That's a good question. Answering that should be our primary focus during this trial. But right now, I can't really say. I see. The way the killer set up the locked room. Until I figure that out, the truth behind Sakura's death will stay hidden. It's definitely a tough mystery. I need to concentrate and investigate as much as I can. For Sakura, if nothing else. This looks like some kind of rapper. Do you recognize it, Rina? Well, yeah, I mean, I gave it to her. It's a candy wrapper. Sakura got super upset when she found out about Genocide Jack had attacked me, right? So after we left the nurse's office, I gave it to her. I thought it might help her calm down a little. So I gave that candy to Sakura. I found a big box of it in the warehouse. I really like them. Actually, as soon as we could get into the warehouse, I took the entire box back to my room. I made sure nobody else could get their hands on them. You really like them that much? But I wanted Sakura to get a chance to try one for herself. That's why I gave it to her. But now, they've lost all their flavor. Ina. Sakura drew her last breath sitting slumped forward in this chair. There's obvious evidence of the blow to the head Sakura suffered. Normally, I wouldn't have any problem believing that that's what had killed her. But according to the Monokuma file, she had also vomited blood. And I can see a trace of blood on her lips for sure. So what would have caused her to vomit blood? The Monokuma file specifically said she hadn't suffered any other injuries. Maybe her getting hit on the head somehow caused her to start vomiting blood? Not a chance. But Byakuya. However, your eyes have landed on a most interesting location. Interesting?
Naturally.
Yes, most interesting, don't you agree? No, I don't think I'd call it interesting. But it does make me wonder. The reason Sakura vomited blood absolutely has to be connected to why she died. There are shards of glass scattered all around the chairs Sakura was sitting on. The glass is all red, and these are the top and bottom sections of a bottle, right? So this must have originally been a bottle. Glass shards have been added. Huh? There's something else on the ground near the glass. It's a figure. It fits in the palm of my hand. It's a Monokuma figure. There are 4 red bottles lined up on the shelf. And inside each bottle, there's some kind of Monokuma figure. What I'm wondering is how they get those figures inside the bottles.
So...
It's no different from your standard ship in a bottle. Huh? You know where the bottle's opening is smaller than the boat placed inside? You've never seen that? Oh yeah, maybe I have.
In other words...
So this is the Monokuma version of that. A Monokuma bottle, if you will. I feel like I'm finally starting to make sense of things, little by little. The Monokuma bottle sitting on the shelf. The Monokuma figure we found on the ground. And then... the red shards of glass, which probably started out as a bottle, which would mean Sakura must have been hit in the head with a Monokuma bottle, right? The shards of glass and the Monokuma figure are evidence of that. So I think it's safe to say that the Monokuma bottle was the weapon. Huh? The locker's open, and there on the inside, it's a handprint.
Why?
What's a handprint doing here? It looks like someone touched the inside of the locker and left a handprint in all of the dust.
It's true.
And it looks quite fresh too. I'd say someone was hiding here in the locker and they left behind a little something extra. So then, maybe the killer hid in here until their locker room was open, don't you think? And during all the confusion, they popped out and joined the rest of the group.
Wrong.
Unfortunately, that's not a possibility. Huh, why not? Think back, before we opened the door, we looked inside the room, right? Oh yeah, the locker was already open at that point.
Indeed.
So there's no way someone could have hidden in there until after we opened the door. Yeah, so then, what does this handprint mean? There's a bloodstain in front of the magazine shelf. It must have come from Sakura, right? But that doesn't make sense. Why is it so far away from where she died?
However...
But for Sakura to have been killed, yeah, she's not the type who would go down without a fight.
It's true.
And she certainly didn't, I would say. She was the ultimate martial artist, strong in body, mind, and spirit. So how was the killer able to get the upper hand on her? I wonder, did someone get the upper hand? They must have taken her by surprise, right?
Certainly.
Certainly. They would have needed to if they expected to stand any chance against her.
What the heck?
We already know who did it. Byakuya, Toko, or Hiro. It had to be one of them. They couldn't stand the sight of her. You agree with me, don't you, Makoto? Well, I don't want to say anything for sure without finding out more. Then let me help you find out more. Let me help you find out more. You see, Sakura asked all 3 of them to meet... What up, bro? You see, Sakura asked all three of them to meet with her. You know where? Right here in the rec room. What? After I went to the nurse's office this morning, Sakura and I both left together, right? Well, eventually she went off on her own. And when I saw her again after that, she told me. She said she'd left a note for each of them. She asked them to meet her in the rec room by noon. By noon? The Monokuma file said she died right around then. I'm telling you the truth. I heard it right from Sakura herself. And I tried to stop her. But she wouldn't listen. She said not to worry. That she just wanted to talk to them. And this is what happened. If I'd stopped her, by force even, this would have never have happened. Hina, it's impossible not to have regrets, I know. But the fact that she had asked those three to meet with her, and she asked them to come to the rec room at noon, the same time and place she ended up dying, it might be good to confirm what I just heard with the three of them directly.
What?
What do you want? You're bothering me. There's something I'd like to talk to you about. Make it quick. Is it true that Sakura asked you to meet her in the rec room? So you found out. Interesting. Then it's true? I did receive a note to that effect, yeah. But what fool would do what is said and risk being killed by that monster? So you didn't go to see her? Of course not. I ripped the note to shreds and threw it away. I haven't seen Sakura today at all. Byakuya says he didn't go to see her. Is that the truth? Well, until I can prove otherwise, I have no choice but to accept it as fact.
Come on.
If you're all finished, please remove yourself from my sight. Okay. Thanks. There's some kind of plastic container rolling around near the entrance of the room.
So...
It looks like a protein drink, and it's empty. Sakura must have drank it. Everyone knows how much she loved her protein. And she mentioned more than once how protein was good for all sorts of ailments. I wouldn't take that to heart if I were you. I know. But still, this protein can. It's got a label on it that says Chem A2. That reminds me, Sakura kinds of health stuff. So she must have gotten there.
Just a second.
But that's strange. Huh? What is?
Hey.
You see what's scattered around the can? Shards of light blue glass. They must be part of the window I broke to get inside.
Correct.
But they aren't just scattered around the can. They're also underneath it. Why does that matter?
So...
I can't say for sure yet, but you're probably going to have to want to take note of it. I feel like it'll become an important clue later. An important clue? I'm not sure I see how. The chair was shoved up against the doorknob, so we couldn't get the door open. There's no evidence that any kind of string or mechanism was used on the chair. In other words, there's no reason to think the chair had anything special done to it. This door is the only way in or out of the rec room. The door doesn't have a lock, and there's no evidence that the mountings have been tampered with. The only notable change to the door is the smashed window, which happened, of course, when I broke it to get inside. There's no chance that any kind of string or mechanism was used on the door. In other words, I don't see anything suspicious about the door itself. Having examined both the door and the chair, there's no doubt the reason the door didn't open was simply because the chair was shoved up against it. This kept the doorknob from turning and the door from opening. And there was no evidence of the door or chair being tampered with or anything like that. So the killer must have created the locked door from the inside, not from the outside.
Listen.
Well, Makoto, have you finished with your general investigation? Yeah, I think so, for the most part.
So then...
Then you should probably go talk with people now. I'm on guard duty, so I can't leave.
Listen to me.
Which is why I decided you'll go in my place. She's decided. She's gotten a lot more pushy since we had our issue. But she's right, I do have to go talk to the others. Sakura wanted to meet with 2 other people. I need to hear what they have to say. You're not gonna let me leave the room? Like, what's going on? Those other two probably went back to their rooms. Wait, no. I need to go another door. I pressed the doorbell. And after a few seconds...
Who's there?
The most negative aura I've ever felt. An aura of total decay.
What do you want?
So you're back to normal. Genocide Jack isn't around anymore.
Don't even say her name. It makes me sick to my stomach. I was in such a good mood, too.
She didn't look like she was in a good mood.
Hey, I was hoping to talk to you about something. Is now a bad time?
Obviously annoyed, Toko slithered out into the hall.
What do you want?
You said you wanted to talk to me about something? I wanted to talk about the fact that Sakura had asked to meet with you. I don't know what you're talking about. Byakuya already told me she had asked to meet with him. What? She wanted to meet with Master too? I just said two, didn't I? I guess now it's totally obvious, huh? Yeah, pretty much. So can you tell me about it? I admit, I did get the note, but I didn't go see her. I was scared, so I couldn't bring myself to go. Toko claims she didn't go to see her, but can I really believe her? Well, until I can prove otherwise, I have no choice but to accept it as fact. Is that good enough? Then I'm going back to my room. With that, Toko quickly retreated into her room. I pressed the doorbell, and after a few seconds, What's up, Makoto? Did you need something? Yeah, actually, I just wanted to check something. It's about how Sakura wanted to meet with you. How do you know about that? Did you maybe gaze into my soul? Have your special abilities awakened in you? But I'm not the only one she wanted to meet with. Ogre told me herself that she asked Byakuya and Toko to come too. What? When did Sakura tell you that? When she asked me to meet with her, of course. But she didn't she write you a note? Yeah, a note. She gave it to me in person, and she happened to mention the others, like, in passing. I gotta be honest, this is super suspicious. So then we went and met with Sakura. No way, I totally didn't. Why would I ever do that? Yeah, definitely suspicious.
Actually,
the last time I saw Ogre was when Hina got hurt and I took her to the nurse's office.
don't look at me.
I haven't seen her since then. Well, I'm here. Could you show me the note she gave you? Let's see. Sorry, looks like I don't have any more. I saw something flutter to the ground. Something had fallen out of Hiro's pocket. Huh? Quick as the wind, Hiro snatched it back up again and shoved it back into his pocket.
Hey, come on.
Sorry, just a bit of trash I forgot to throw out. Trash?
What?
Anyway, I can't deny that Ogre asked to meet with me, but I never went. So, well, if you'll excuse me. Before waiting for a reply, Hiro quickly slipped back into his room. Hiro said that was just trash, but there's no way that's all there was to it. Okay, so I've heard from Toko and Hiro. What next? I'll definitely have to look at the actual crime scene again, but on top of that, Maybe I should find out more about the protein can we found on the floor of the lock of the rec room. I'm sure it must have come from the chem lab. So where should I start?
Hey.
So Makoto, how's your investigation going? I told Kyoko what Toko and Hiro had told me. I see, so along with Byakuya, they're both claiming they didn't go see her. But it's all too convenient. Someone must be lying. Someone's lying.
Anyway.
Well, I've made some progress on my own. Sakura's body, the shelf of magazines, and the Monokuma bottles. These three things have revealed new clues. You do well to look them over one more time. Kyoko said the magazine shelf was hiding a clue of some kind. Clue. Huh? The magazine is upside down. Did someone put it back that way on accident?
Hey.
If something catches your eye, it's important for you to explore that in detail, don't you think? Yeah, you're right. I picked up the inverted magazine and flipped through it. This is... On one of the pages near the center of the magazine, a word had been written in bold, bloody letters. And it said, Toko. Could this be a dying message?
Correct.
Then it would appear you found it. Kyoko, is this... It is indeed a dying message. Someone used their finger to write it. A dying message.
However...
But just to be clear, I'm not the one who put it back upside down. It was already like that when I found it a little while ago. I made sure to put it exactly as I found it, for the benefit of others who might come looking. Hey, is that... That says Toko, right? Yeah, it looks like it. Then she's the killer, right? Well, it hasn't been confirmed yet. It's settled. She's the killer for sure. That's conclusive evidence, right? We can use it to corner the killer. I can see why you'd think that, but it just seems too easy. If anything, it makes me that much more suspicious. I think Kyoko said she'd found a new clue involving the Monokuma bottles. Something new.
Hey.
So, did you figure it out? There's a hidden correlation between all the bottles. Pay careful attention and you're sure to find it. A correlation. Hey, hey, Kyoko. Can't you just tell me what it is? I don't mind guiding you towards the clues, but giving you my conclusion isn't a good idea. Each person needs to come to their own conclusion so that everyone can have confidence in the outcome. And it's not just because you don't trust me, right? No, answer! I do trust you, to a degree. Otherwise, I wouldn't have told you anything to begin with. Only to a degree?
Hey.
Actually, there's one more thing about the Monokuma bottles that's bothering me. I'd like to do an experiment to confirm it. You don't mind helping me, right? An experiment?
Anyway.
Can you gather up all the pieces of the broken Monokuma bottle? Try to get the smaller pieces too. Huh? Are you sure it's okay to mess with the crime scene like that?
That doesn't matter.
I've already done a thorough investigation, so it's fine. And that obnoxious Byakuya is not here. So
then.
Anyway, I need to get something from the chem lab. While I'm gone, try to gather up all the glass. With that, Kyoko left the room. I really don't know what this is about, but what choice do I have? I'd better just do it. I took the broom and dustpan and got to work collecting the broken bottle pieces. And just as I finished up, sorry to keep you waiting.
So then.
Is everything ready? Then let's get to work. So, what kind of experiment are we doing?
In other words.
I got a scale from the chem lab. We're going to use it to compare weights. Compare the weights of what? You want to do that? That's the point of the experiment. It'll all make sense when we're done.
Listen.
First, let's compare the weight of two of the normal Monokuma bottles. It's balanced,
In other words,
which means each Monokuma bottle weighs about the same, which makes sense. The Monokuma figures inside are basically the same, and nothing else could really affect the weight.
so then,
Now here comes the important part. Put all the pieces you picked up on one side of the scale. Now, what might we expect to see? Well, a normal assumption would be either they'll balance out, or the pieces I collected will be lighter. I did my best to get them all, but there's a chance I could have missed some. There's a chance I could have missed some here and there.
then,
Okay, then let's give it a try. Huh? The broken pieces are heavier? How is that possible?
I knew it.
Just as I thought. What?
In other words,
The result of our experiment and the correlation between each of the bottles. Put it all together.
hey,
And I believe you will arrive at one very persuasive conclusion. So, what do you think? It's all on you. According to Kyoko, there's still something to be discovered from Sakura's body.
just a second.
Just staring off into space isn't going to help you figure anything out. Well, yeah, I know, but...
Hey,
Don't you think you might need to actually examine the body? There's no getting around it. Like me, Kyoko didn't recoil at the thought of touching a dead body. She was completely unemotional. It's the kind of thing I've grown perversely used to. Although, there are still some times. I can't believe how calm you are. No matter how many times I see a dead body, I can't get used to it.
it's true.
That's totally normal. Then how can you...
So,
I imagine it's because I've had plenty of opportunities to touch dead bodies in the past. What? Sorry. Never mind.
hey,
More importantly, look here. Her shoes. You see the yellow powder on her instep? Yeah, it really stands out.
I see.
That powder is clue number 1.
Hey,
Next is the wound to her head. Look carefully.
it's true.
Actually, even telling you that, it's incredibly difficult to spot. So let me just explain.
It would seem...
It would appear that she didn't suffer a single blow, but instead it received 2 blows to the head. 2 blows.
Indeed.
Interesting, wouldn't you say? And there's one more interesting thing.
Correct.
Both of her hands were spotless. There's absolutely no trace of blood on either one.
It's true.
So that's what I learned from examining her body in detail. I can't believe she was able to learn all that just by looking at her body. I don't think anyone but Kyoko could have pulled that off. There, I finished examining all the things Kyoko mentioned, and I did find some new clues. But when it comes to the locked room puzzle, I'm still totally clueless.
Hey,
Oh, I just remembered. There's something I wanted to tell you. I saw Byakuya in the chem lab when I went to go get the scale. I didn't want to deal with him, so I took great pains to sneak in and out without him noticing me. And
so...
if you haven't checked out the chem lab, you should probably do that, since I couldn't do it myself. You know, the protein can we found at the murder scene must have come from the chem lab. I think you're right. I should probably take a look around that area.
Indeed.
Makoto, did you have your eye on the chem lab too? Make sure you don't get in my way. Okay, yeah, I got it. I think what you meant to say was, yes sir, I understand. This isn't my first time seeing the shelf, but I just can't get over how big it is. I should probably take a closer look at it. It looks like 3 shelves have been connected together to make one giant shelf. But more importantly right now, what's that powder that's been spilled in front of the shelf? I have to be careful not to step in it. There's a broken bottle in front of the shelf. Is that where all the powder came from? It looks like the bottle had a label on it, Chem C4. Would you like to hear something interesting? It wasn't like this. Then the powder must have been spilled.
In other words,
that's right. It could have only been around the time of the incident. If that really is what happened, when it happened, it must be related to the case somehow. These are footsteps, and they're only in front of the left shelf. How did these footprints relate to the scene as a whole? We may need to sketch out the floor plan. By we, do you mean me? How kind of you to offer. With an insufferable smirk, he handed me a piece of paper and a pen.
what?
Well, let's go, chop chop. Okay. So I got to work, and before long I'd drawn up a sketch of the room. So how's this? Not bad. For you, I mean. For me. So when you look at it like this, interesting. It would appear that whoever left these footprints only had business at the top left, at the leftmost shelf. They came in, went straight to that door, that shelf, did whatever they had to do, and then left. That's what the footprints tell me.
I see.
These footprints must be...
Certainly possible.
Makoto, are they yours? No. Okay, then let me see your shoes and I'll confirm their size for myself. I couldn't think of a reason not to, so I quietly did what Byakuya said. I see. Your feet do appear to be too big. Unfortunately, I must admit these are not your footprints. Fortunately. With how clear these prints are, it should be quite easy to determine who they do belong to. Then these prints are a really valuable clue. There's a bunch of yellow powder scattered on the floor. I'd better not leave a footprint. I should probably take a good hard look at that powder. There's a bunch of yellow powder scattered on the floor in front of the shelf. There's also the remains of a broken bottle. It looks like the bottle was... Oh, I read this. Oh wait. Oh, I guess this is due now. Based on the positioning of the print, whoever it was only went to the left side of the shelf. According to Byakuya, the powder would have had to have been spilled right around the time of the incident. That's all I can tell for now. So on this shelf is... looks like a bunch of chemicals that I have no idea what they are. They're reagents, whatever. Put simply, they're used in an experiment to bring about a chemical reaction. How have you lived in such ignorance for so long? It must truly be bliss. Isn't that kind of harsh? What, you think studying science and mathematics has no practical application in the real world?
That's fine.
The words of a lifelong loser, which I suppose suits you well. I didn't even say that. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Right now I need to focus on the shelf. All the containers that on this shelf are labeled with the letter B and a number. So I guess I consider this part of the shelving unit is section B. I don't see anything out of the ordinary here. In which case, I don't think I have to worry too much about this shelf. Let's see, what's on this shelf? There are all kinds of dietary supplements and different medicines. The protein drink we found in the rec room probably came from this shelf. All the containers on this shelf are labeled with the letter A and a number. So I guess I can consider this part of the shelving unit section A. Huh? But wait, there's one bottle here that's labeled Chem C9. Could someone have put it here on accident? On this shelf is one look and I can tell it's nothing but dangerous chemicals. These look like poisons and other powerful chemicals. All the containers on this shelf are labeled with the letter C and a number. So I guess blah 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 section C. I should try to find out more about this shelving unit. It looks like it's split into 3 sections. Section A has dietary supplements, Section B has reagents, and Section C has lethal chemicals. Soccer must have gotten the protein powder from Section A. But what concerns me is that in Section A, there was a bottle with a label from Section C. What was a bottle of poison from Section C doing in Section A? There's definitely something going on there.
Whoops! You caught me sleeping. Your investigation was just so boring I couldn't stay awake. Should I do it? Is it okay? Can I? Okay, then let's begin the class trial. You know where to meet, right? Please go through the red door on the first floor of the school.
Monokuma made his announcement and everyone began to meet up, one after another. And then... the ultimate martial artist. A locked-through murder mystery. What the... Oh, I just recently discovered the power of emoticons. Like, no matter how awful something is, if you toss in a smiley face, it turns positive. For example, you're at a picnic and you find a dead body. This is just plain creepy.
Well?
And how about the reverse? No matter how great something is, if you put it in a sad face, it makes it look super negative.
Yes, indeed.
For example, do you have 100 friends? He's right, that does make us seem sad.
I can't wait! I can't
Now then, please get on the elevator. I'll see you all down there. Oh, what the hell was that? I don't get it.
Just the worst.
I don't get you guys. How can you act so casual after murdering someone?
Don't look at me.
I don't think I'm acting casual.
Don't be mean.
I mean, I didn't murder anyone. Yeah, I'm completely innocent. How dare you call me a murderer? Whatever. Either way, the truth will be revealed soon enough. Because there can be no doubt one of us is the culprit. The killer. The one that murdered Sakura. She was stronger than anyone I know, and yet someone killed her. And that person is here. That person is one of us?
Hey,
Standing around here isn't going to do any good. Let's get going. How can you just stand there and say you didn't do it without even breaking a sweat?
What?